Good evening. So I don't feel ready for this at all, but I guess that's the beauty of it. I want to get started here, close to the time that I projected. Been scrambling to get ready, so I haven't actually practiced any of these songs, but that's okay. It's not the point. So I took off way too long between the last one and this one, I think. So I'm here to correct that. Each time I've done this in the past, I've had so much fun, and I've thought, man, I should do this like once a week because I enjoy it so much. And then months pass and lots of life happens and I don't get around to it. So this is episode 3. If you're just tuning in, counting down my top 100 songs I've ever written. This week is, well, not this week. It's not a weekly thing anymore, is it? This episode is songs 80 to 71. So I was reminded of the 100 a couple times this week, and so I pulled the trigger to do it tonight, even though kind of scrambled and ill-prepared. So I had the great pleasure of playing a lot of my songs for Emily and her parents over Easter weekend, last weekend, and that was a lot of fun. And as I was trying to think of songs to play, I kept referencing my spreadsheet of songs from the 100, and that reminded me that I hadn't played it recently. The other one was a good buddy of mine texted me yesterday and said that he had watched the first episode and enjoyed it and was looking forward to more. So that kind of sealed the deal that I was going to do this tonight, even though it's not 100% ideal for me or very practiced. So I'm going to start playing songs now and let them speak for themselves, I guess. That's pretty funny, actually. This is blue Gatorade, believe it or not. My little filter. Life is not as it seems on camera, is it? Yeah, we're just faking it here. So I'm going to start with song number 80. It's called The World Is Round. I should do this more often because I remember last time I didn't feel nervous at all, and this time I do, so it's probably just from the long layoff. So the song is called The World Is Round. It's written about travel, I guess, especially influenced by my early 20s, where I think at one point in my life I had lived in 7 different apartments in 4 years, or made 7 moves in 4 years, something to that effect. And I knew lots of my peers were doing the same, lots of back and forth from college to first job to back home to back to college, you know, that sort of thing. Very transient lifestyle, and I know for me that wore me down a lot. And I had lots of friends in lots of places, but I hardly had any place that felt like home. And even visiting special people, family, having great holiday weekends, for instance, it was always hard on that leaving day, you know, and I would watch my friends kind of do the same thing, and I wondered if they felt as isolated as I did. And reflecting on that season, I wrote this song. It's called The World Is Round. Yeah, it's probably going to be on the album that I'm working on right now. In fact, it was the last song that I wrote for the album right before flying out to the studio. So because of that, I don't think this acoustic guitar is going to do it justice compared to what I'm working on in the studio, but it'll be fun this way anyway. It's called The World Is Round. I love how you suit yourself. You wear the outskirts well, running over grassy hills. Can't keep your bare feet still. You always took that train, but your mind was somewhere far away, blowing dandelion seeds to scatter them like birds from trees. And you're on the edge, up against the rail, scared of what's next, but I promise that you won't fail, because the world is round, so you can't fall off. But if you dare yourself, you can still get lost. I bet you don't even know you're the toast of 1,000 towns, and you turn my world, but I can't tell if it's upside down, because the world is round. You make the guest room band and think how many times you've left, like your own suitcase. Well, you're not on the run, you're only keeping up with the service of the earth and how the treadmill turns. Tethered it spins like a second hand. If you leave your feet, there's no telling where you could land, because the world is round, so you can't fall off. But if you dare yourself, oh, you can still get lost. I bet you don't even know you're the toast of 1,000 towns, and you turn my world, but I can't tell if it's upside down, because the world is round. Yeah, the world is round. The sun never goes down, and the stars are always out. The world is round. Well, thanks for joining tonight. That was the 80th best song I've ever written, if you agree with my rankings. And we're counting down to number 1. Not tonight. Tonight we're going down to 71. And the next one on my list here, as I try to stay on task, is called Of My Heart. It's an old song. It's another song that was the last one that I wrote right before producing an album. Only this was the very first album I ever recorded and released. I was with my brother and my cousin in high school. I probably wrote this when I was 16, I think. We recorded the album and got it out when I was 17. So I could have been 15 when I wrote it. Who knows? It's called Of My Heart. It's appropriate for having just gone through Easter weekend. It's a song about, I guess, as if I were a spectator at Christ's death. So it's called Of My Heart. Opened up empty, everything removed. They say your home's where your heart is. Well, I live in a tomb. If my hopes would only hang by a thread, it'd be better than this. It'd be better than this cross. I was in the hammer, I was in the nail. My soul entombed in the grave, and my heart torn in the veil. My fate held in your cold hands, my hopes crushed in your death. I hang on to the promise that you remain in what is left of my heart. Is everything falling, or could it just be me? They've buried a prophet, a priest and a king. He was all that I had, and I am made poor. He is all that I am, and I'm made to be no more. I was in the hammer, I was in the nail. My soul entombed in the grave, and my heart torn in the veil. My fate held in your cold hands, my hopes crushed in your death. But I hang that you remain in what is left of my heart. I barely remembered that one. Every line was kind of like, I don't know if this is going to come to me or not. I should have maybe done a run through within the last 10 years from when I wrote that. But I made it, so that's good. I think I know this next one a little better. It's called The Sound of Letting Go. It's one of my favorite songs to play acoustically. I've never recorded it, but it's one that's well suited for guitar and doesn't need a lot else. I've gone through seasons where I write more for like full arrangements, rock, pop kind of aspirations, and those are kind of boring to play on just a guitar or a piano. So even some of the songs that aren't my favorite are better suited for guitar because of the season I wrote it in, where I didn't have the aspirations of recording software or playing with a band. It was just me in a college dorm room. So that's where this one originated. It's called The Sound of Letting Go. Crap. Sometimes I remember the second verse first, and that's not where you start a song. Okay, I got it. Thanks for sticking with me. I ran right and she stood left. I moved east and she stayed west. Her hope is gone. She's moving on. The clouds are coming all undone. A bleeding sky, but you see sunshine where you are. That's how far we've come. Forever is what we said, so I tethered her to my regret. She's letting go, she said, so my heart broke at the sound of letting go. I'm not careful, my mind drifts back to the place of our last kiss. The flame returns. The flames, they burn. The days are few and far between when I feel loved. So does she, so what to do? Keep pushing through. No, forever is what we said. So I tethered her to my regret. She's letting go, she said, so my heart broke at the sound of letting go. So I tethered her to my regret. She's letting go. Oh, she said, so my heart broke at the sound of letting go. All right, moving right along. I wrote my list in backwards order so I could go from the top down. But since the bottom part of me is closest to me, I keep looking from the bottom up, and I'm like, where am I? I think I'm at, oh yes, I like this one. I've been excited to play this one. This is called Seattle Will Find Us. I wrote it in college on behalf of my cousin to his girlfriend. It was a dating anniversary, first or second year, and he wanted me to write a song for his girlfriend from him, of course, and So we brainstormed together, my cousin and I, and he told me a lot of, I don't know, memories and things he liked about his girlfriend. And I did the heavy lifting and compiled it into a song that then he could share with her. And the cool part about it is they, even in their early dating relationship, they aspired to move to the Pacific Northwest. And at the time we were using Seattle to kind of be the target city, if you will, that they would want to end up in, like where their dreams were going to come true. And kind of a secondary option was Portland, but it didn't fit the song as well. So I wrote it as Seattle will find us, not Portland will find us, of course. Seattle sounds better. And the good news is that within the last month or two, I think, they actually just moved to Portland. They're married. They've been married for years, 3 maybe years. And they moved to Portland like 2 months ago. And so this is like a big dream come true for them and a dream come true for my song that I wrote. So it's called Seattle Will Find Us. And I hope against hope that I remember it. Is she out of my league? Angel and mortal, sky in between. I'm just a little unsure what to do with these wings. Do I have what she needs? Princess and peasant with nothing to bring. What can I offer that somehow lives up to her dreams? Well, I'm done looking for love. Love came to me tonight, lost in your eyes. It's all that I need. Someday Seattle will find us at home, watching the rain fill the scenery with hope. I can't be sure, but as long as I'm yours, I'll believe we can reach every dream. If it were up to me, I stare in your eyes, watch them turn brown to green. The room's full of faces, but it's only yours that I see. Oh, and we'll travel the world to witness its beauty like never before. But it cannot compare to the lifetime of treasure we have in store. So I'm done looking for love. Love came to me tonight, lost in your eyes. It's all that I need. Someday our children will tug at your arms, and I'll think of ways to keep touching your heart. I can't be sure, but as long as I'm yours, I'll believe we can reach every dream. And they did, which is a happy ending for a song. People say I don't write happy songs, and I think they should listen to that one probably. Oh my goodness, that's one of the best accidental segues I've ever had. So literally, this next song is called You Could Make Me Happy, and I was going to introduce it by saying, people always say I don't write happy songs, and this song kind of explains why. And I didn't even realize that was next. So it's almost like I prepared, except I didn't at all. And I'm really glad we're almost halfway through this and we're still kicking. So okay, You Could Make Me Happy. Man, so many people like, hey, I like your music, but I wish you'd write happier stuff. And I get that. Like, I like to listen to happy stuff sometimes. I just don't like to write it because I like to write music when I'm sad or processing something, you know? When I'm happy, I'm usually doing other things, outdoors, sports, you know? Yeah, I don't know, doing episodes like this when I'm happy. But when I'm writing, I'm usually sad. And the ironic thing is sometimes, you know, I was writing a lot of heartbreak songs or romance songs without really happy endings for girls that I liked who didn't like me back. That's where most of my material comes from in my early 20s especially. And I remember one time a girl told me that same thing. I like your music, but I think you should write happy songs. And it was a girl that I liked, and she didn't really like me back. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you could make me happy. Like, you could make me write happy songs if you would just, I don't know, date me? You know? Like, is that too much to ask? If you want a happy song, it seems like a fair trade. So, of course, I said none of that. Being so shy, I just went into my room and wrote a song. And it's just now occurring to me that it's a wonder that I ever did get married with that approach. But I got this song out of it. It's called You Could Make Me Happy. And it's just kind of a so there song to people who wanted happy songs, but wouldn't like date me, if that makes sense. So let's see if I can, I think I wrote it on the piano actually. And I have a piano here, but I'm only going to use it for one song tonight. So this is not that song. Well, I tried, 'cause you ask. You want something to make you laugh. A catchphrase, a love song. But they always feel tired or foreign or wrong. I write the words that are stuck in my head. I'm sorry that heartbreak is what I know best. Oh, but you could make me happy. Just wrap your arms around me. I won't have to learn to see the good when we are kissing. You could be the love song. You could write the ending. Oh, close your eyes and place your finger on a map, and that's where you could make me happy. Well, you say that I should try to focus on all of the good. But last time that I tried, I just ended all up with this anger inside. Like it or not, there's a forecast of rain. The sky is a color and we're only shades. Oh, you are silver, I am gray, and you can make me happy. Just leaning closer to me. Oh, I won't have to learn to see the good when we are kissing. You could be the love song. Or you could write the ending. So please inspire the words you want to hear. Honey, you could make me happy. Deep in my head, I've been fashioning light. But it always escapes when I open my eyes. My eyes. You can make me happy. Just lean it closer to me. I won't have to learn to see the good when we are kissing. You can make me happy. Oh, and you don't have to teach me. Oh, I already know what it would take. And honey, you could make me happy. I guess only I could write a sad song about being happy. Because I think that's probably the best way to describe that one. Alright, we've reached number 75 on our countdown. This is one I'm going to play on piano, which I have over here. And I guess I'll talk to you first and explain it. This song, my brother wrote the piano for, and I'm going to try to play it today, at least a basic version of it. And I've never played this song on piano before until like an hour ago. But this is a song that we kind of wrote together. I guess he wrote the piano parts, and I put lyrics and melody to it. I almost said lyrics and words. That'd be redundant. So this song we affectionately referred to as the Orphan Song. When I was younger, I wrote a lot of songs kind of aspiring to be in a Christian band that would play concerts at churches, and I guess that's just it. That's what I wanted. And because of that, I wrote a lot of songs that were oriented about the Lord, oriented toward admonishing the church and Christians to be called to action. And this is one of those songs, I guess, just about the homeless and the fatherless, the motherless, the orphans, who could really use the help of people who say that they believe in the Lord, who would be so willing to actually support where they can and donate time and money to help children across the world. I guess was kind of the cliche global reach that I hoped the song would have when I wrote it. So I guess that's all there is to say about it. We never quite finished it. There's little fragments of the verses. I might get them out of order. I'll do the best I can, but it's called the Orphan Song. I don't seem real because we've never met, but the pain that I feel hasn't gone away yet. For I am the least, I am broken and poor. Do this for me, you'll be loving God more. For you it's a choice of how much to give, but I'm at your mercy, dying to live. With all of life's mysteries I can't understand. If God has a heart, where are his hands? I don't ask for much, but I do have a need. A drop or a crumb would go a long way for me. It's a choice of how much to give, but I'm at your mercy, dying to live. Of all of life's mysteries I can't understand. If God has a heart, then where are his hands? Choice of how much to give, but I'm at your mercy, dying to live. Of all of life's mysteries I can't understand. If God has a heart, So that's roughly how that one went. Pretty fond of it, but I sure wish my brother were here to play the piano for me. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. We are getting close to the end here. We're at song number 74. We're counting down to number 71. I'm trying to look at the camera. I always look at the picture, and that's probably kind of creepy looking. Maybe this is more creepy looking right at you, but that's how it would be in real life. Although I don't like to look people in the face while I'm playing a song for them. That's actually not natural at all. That's just some side information about when I play songs. The next one is called We Have to Be Different to Match. And I was just thinking about how things that go together, like things that match, like pair together, they're not duplicates of each other. A lock and a key, you know. This lock goes to this key, I mean vice versa. This key goes to this lock. It doesn't mean they're the same thing. It just means that they're a match, I guess. I try to be clever when I write songs. Sometimes it works and sometimes it does not. You can be the judge. I'm putting 100 of them out there for your review. And tell me which ones you like, which ones you don't like. No, don't do that. Just tell me which ones you like. And leave a comment maybe if you're here right now, if you've heard a song that you like, or if I play one instead of rambling and you like it, then let me know. This is called We Have to Be Different to Match. I wrote it for my wife. She wasn't my wife at the time, but there's so many things about her that I appreciate because she's different than me. We have a lot of core things that are aligned and in common that are really essential and foundational for our marriage, but there's a lot of things that she, like character traits that she possesses and abilities and intuition that she has that I don't, and I need them. So yeah, of course I think of her when I play this song. And it's gonna be, if it turns out okay, I'm recording it and it kind of rocks, but it's not done yet, but it'll be on my album called Introducing Our Ghosts, which is hopefully coming this year, maybe. Yeah, let's go with that for now. Okay, lyrics. I need lyrics. Got him. Okay. When you first dawned on me, thought that I couldn't have you because I am twilight. You knew better. Now I see that it's like we are bookends. We are opposite sides and it's all right between us. Like a chevron pattern we zig and zag, or two puzzle pieces we jig and jag. We are not duplicates, we are a perfect fit. We have to be different to match. We have to be different to match, or we would be lockless keys, or worse we'd be birdless bees. We have to be different to match. We have to be different to match. Right with left interlocking. Fingers fall into place so our strength covers weakness. His and hers, two distinct little minds, male and female. Somehow stars still align from unique constellations. And the lovers fight, it's a civil war, 'cause we're so magnetically south and north. We are not duplicates, we are a perfect fit. We have to be different to match. We have to be different to match, or we would be lockless keys, or worse we'd be birdless bees. We have to be 'cause you are not my clone. Yeah, it's the ways we are different that make me need you the most. Well, I guess I could live without you if we were exactly the same. Put our uniqueness together, that's when the match is made. We are not duplicates, we are a perfect fit. We have to be different to match. We have to be different to match, or we would be lockless keys, or worse, we'd be burnless bees. We have to be different to match. We have to be different, different to match. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. It's been a few of you throughout this whole show. I really appreciate that. Sometimes I play for no one here, and then I just let people watch afterwards, which I kind of prefer, honestly. It's easier on the nerves, I guess, even though it's recording either way. I don't know why I just put my guitar away. I'm going to need that for the next 3 songs. But I guess I just needed to reference my list, which tells me that the next song, number 73, is called The Sirens. And I cannot for the life of me remember where I capoed it. We'll find out. We'll find out for sure. So this song is called The Sirens. I wrote it in probably a period of skepticism for me that was at its peak. I've been a believer in Christ since I was 4 years old, but there's mountains and valleys, of course, and my 20s were kind of hard on me in that way. A lot of valleys, a lot of doubt, a lot of, okay, if this is true, then it should be able to hold up if I test it. And that was true, and that wasn't necessarily a bad approach, but it did lead me to some songs like this that are a little more skeptical than I actually am now. I used to, when I was younger, I wrote songs that were very much like, I viewed them as products, I guess. In fact, I would start with a song title. Literally, I would imagine the back of a CD, and I would think of like 10 cool song titles that I would like to have on the back of my CD. And then I would write a song for each of those titles. So it's very much like the end game, drove it. And not a lot of critical thinking, more like these are things I know and I'm going to just convey them. Like these are answers I have, I'm going to put them out there. But as I've gotten older, I've really fallen in love with the idea of writing songs more along the way, like along the lines that I think, which is to engage in things that I don't understand or I'm concerned about, skeptical of, or maybe hurting from. And I let this song be my way of processing that. And so then the end product isn't so much of an end product at all, but rather like a documentary of my process, if you will. And in that way, my writing has shaped my thinking, and then my thinking has shaped my writing. So this is a song that's a pretty good example of that. It's not necessarily like, I guess the point I'm trying to make is these 100 songs that I'm sharing, if I could rewrite them all, if I could write 100 songs today starting from scratch, I probably wouldn't end up with these songs. Of course I wouldn't. And in that way, these songs are more of a history and less of a thesis. They tell how I got where I am, but they don't necessarily tell who I am present day. So that's just some background about me and this song, The Sirens. It's kind of a skeptical, tongue-in-cheek, basically almost a satire that if God and the gospel are really true, then we shouldn't panic when people test them, because they will hold up. They will hold water, and they'll stand the test of time. And that's all true, but in that season, I was kind of, I fell in love with being the devil's advocate, and that's kind of the antagonistic tone that you'll hear in this song, The Sirens. corner, looming large, and they all face the same direction like a single lane of cars. In the room, and in their silence they each wondered how I had escaped the zoo. I was only asking, but I must have stumbled on some evidence that might betray the trust of timeless thought. The wagon band was changing tunes and out of time as I got off. Oh dear me, I've been caught in criminal simplicity. I'm prone to fall wherever honest questions are a felony. I know some will sound the siren soon. To verify, I've almost found the truth. What if all the critics had their say, and those with answers had the bravery to test them by the flame? When the fire spread, we'd know the truth at last. Just look around, take note of what is left. Oh no, this is my favorite verse and I forgot it. Got it, okay. What if we're mistaken and the clouds are only secondhand smoke? Galaxies are cigarettes in the mouths of ivory hosts. Well, I'm only saying I'm not certain of the things I cannot know. Oh, dear me, I've been caught in criminal simplicity, and I'm prone to fall wherever honest questions are a felony. I know some will sound the siren soon. To verify, I've almost found the truth. Well, it is the truth, and I rejoice in it more now than I did then, having found it to be true, sometimes by trial and error, and always coming back to it. Yeah, so we have 2 songs left for tonight, number 72 and 71, counting down the 100 best songs I've ever written, and really just a way for me to kind of chronicle them, since I can't record them all in a studio and spend enough time on them. I can't even spend enough time to practice for something like tonight, so it's been pretty shaky, and I apologize for that, but I appreciate you being here and showing your support. And if you're watching later after this is recorded, thanks to you as well. This next song is called, well, it's called 42nd Street, but only because we initially named it Chasing Trains, and that was too much like Chasing Cars, which was really popular. The story goes like this. I had a band in high school with my cousin and brother, and I think at this point we were in college, actually, when I wrote this song. And I had this melody, and I had this phrase, Chasing Trains, and that was it. And I swear to you, I had no knowledge of this, is that the song is called Chasing Cars. If I just lay here, will you lay with me and just forget the world, right? You know it. Is it Snow Patrol, the band? Someone could comment, I guess, and confirm that for me, but I don't really care. The point is that I'd never heard of this Chasing Cars song, and I had this phrase "chasing trains" in my mind, and I wanted to write a song, but I had no idea where to take it because what is that about, chasing trains? And I couldn't figure it out. So I texted or emailed my cousin, and I was like, write me a story, like not a song, just a story, and your only prompt is chasing trains. And so he compiled this whole narrative of these lovers, well, strangers. Oops, I gave it away. They're strangers, and that's how they start out. And then they become lovers, and that's how they end up. You see, there's like a progression that takes place. And I took his little story about how they meet at the subway, and they like love at first sight, or like at first sight, but then they get on like separate trains, like subway trains, cars, trains, chasing trains, chasing cars. That's why I had to change the name of it. So we named the song 42nd Street after the 42nd Street subway, which I think is in New York, based on our extensive research, but not out of my own experience. So this is 42nd Street, and I hope you like it. If you like sappy love songs, you've tuned in at just the right time, because I don't have a lot of them, but this is one of them. He hangs his head and slowly steps. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. The sun goes down. He crosses town to find his feet here on 42nd Street. He saw an angel in the ticket line, trying to leave the world behind. He caught her eye, and his heart could see everything that this could be. She saw the same. Lost within the perfect moment, subway cars and platform romance. Can't forget the way the globe lamp shines its shade of green, her halo. Suddenly the crowd takes over. It's all so fast, he can't get to her. So afraid that he might lose her now, he's chasing trains for Angel. Disappears as he draws near. The door's now closed, shutting out his only hope. He's lost his angel, but he turned over the world just to find his subway girl. He thinks of how they were lost within the perfect moment. Subway cars and platform romance. Can't forget the way the globe lamp shines its shade of green, their halo. Oh, 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 chasing trains for Angel, and watching as the wall flies by, she quickly reaches the end of the line. It feels alone now, and having found a dream to hold, she takes the next train back in hopes of finding him. Rushes out to see him waiting there. Lost within the perfect moment, subway cars and platform romance. Can't forget the way the globe lamp shines its shade of green, their halo. Hand in hand, they walk together, wedding vows to last forever. But God has joined, let no one's ever know. They were chasing trains for Angel. Oh, want to hear a recorded version, we actually did release that song. If you YouTube, the band name was White Stone. That's one word, White Stone. So search White Stone 42nd Street or White Stone Chasing Trains, and you'll find it. It's a pretty fun trip down memory lane. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. My cousin, my brother, and I worked on that, and my other brother produced it for us. So lots of good memories there for me. That made it actually kind of frustrating to play it by myself right now, just honestly. And golly, I'm like flying through these. I think it's probably been close to an hour. It tends to take about that long. And I've been off topic a lot, but I feel like I've been kind of at a pace that's a little rushed. So this next song will be a good one to slow down. It's called The After Ever. There are these little gems, in my opinion, in my catalog that I would never like pitch to like a record label, I guess, or if I had a band and we were going into a studio, I wouldn't lobby hard for some of these songs, but like privately I love them. And this is one of those songs, I think it holds up well in just an acoustic setting, whereas that last song is a really good example of one that's much better, in a studio setting with drums and bass and electric and multiple takes on the vocals and then editing and polishing. So go check out that one. It's a few years old, probably 5 years old now from when we released it. But this one is a kind of a place of peace for me, kind of a comfort song. And I don't know why it is. I think in my humble opinion, I think it's pretty well written. And it's kind of unique in that it's just kind of verse after verse after verse. There's only 3. I didn't mean to make that sound like it was an endless song, but it kind of like it's almost more like prose or poetry. Honestly, I don't even know. I've never thought about it that critically before. It's just a song lyric, but it kind of has this meter that repeats in each verse, and the words are just kind of interchanged a little bit, and so there's sort of a repetition that I really like, and I think it's effective. So it's called The After Ever, and I wrote it, I think, before I ever went through a breakup. And that's something I did. I've likened songwriting to wearing a seatbelt. For me, you don't put a seatbelt on because you expect to wreck or because you plan to drive your car off of a cliff. You obviously put a seatbelt on just as a contingency plan because things happen and you want to be prepared. And that's, I don't know for better or for worse, honestly, could not tell you for better or worse, but that's how I've treated songwriting for a lot of my life. I wrote songs about falling out of love while I was in love. I wrote songs about breakups while I was in relationships. I've done the opposite. I've written some really mushy, tear-jerking, heartwarming love songs while I was single, So it was kind of more just whatever I thought I could write in that moment, and songs that I wanted to, like, I don't know, I want to have written this kind of song, so I will write this song, is, I guess, the approach that I took. So this is one of those songs. It's called The After Ever. And it's going to conclude our time together tonight. Once again, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your evening and listening to me go down memory lane. I hope you don't mind that these aren't the most polished concerts, if you will. I try not to really build them up that way. It's just good exercise for me, and it's good to get those butterflies and nerves going, and it's good to make mistakes without the ability to polish and edit, and to just engage with an audience as best you can, and trust that they understand, and trust that there's some piece of this that will touch them or impact their lives, or will bring them at least enjoyment for a moment. So thanks again. I'm going to close with this one, and then we'll send you right on your way. And it's called The After Ever. should have held her. It wasn't close enough to only tell her, and I thought I knew the way it was. I knew too little and I thought too much. When she said kiss me, I should have kissed her. It wasn't soft enough to only whisper, and I thought I said that she was loved. I said too little and I thought too much. I think she might have forgiven me by now. I think she misses me more than she knows. I think our hearts sometimes whisper through these walls, but I think she knows I think too much. She said leave me, I should have left her. It isn't cozy in the after ever, and I thought I gave my best for us, but I gave too little and I thought too much. Thanks for listening. Hope you have a great night.